The sound of a heartbeat in stone. Kratos and Atreus stand before a crumbling archive. Time is the only took dying currency worth star stealing. A whisper lingers, it was theft stealing. It took Odin's obsession paranoid, unrelenting carved centuries from Asgard's bones. Knowledge was not virtue, it was theft, give, it took. In the realm between realms, the debt begins. The runes on Odin's mask are not wisdom's script. They tally stolen centuries, siphoned from the 9 realms to fuel his endless war. Each glyph is a century lost, Asgard's breath, Vanaheim's dawn, Midgard's unspoken dreams. The void did not tempt him, he plundered it, turning realms into a clockwork of borrowed time. Generations paid the price, his sons bore the first cracks, now the debt compounds. What toll will the final ledger demand? The runes burn not with light but with hunger. Each glyph etched into the archive's bones is a shackle on time itself, yanking centuries from Midgard's breath, Niflheim's frost, Muspel's flame. Odin did not seek knowledge. He carved a ledger of stolen years, his shadow stretching across the 9 realms while Asgard's walls thinned like parchment. What price immortality when the cosmos pays in kind? The void, that ravenous ID, did not breach Asgard's gates. It was invited in, fed by the hands that sought to delay its reckoning. Every whisper in the archive was a scream from a world drained dry. The Aesir aged not from battle but from debt. Their god's blood ran thin as the void's hunger swelled, Ragnarok's hammer forged in the furnace of Odin's greed. He believed he could outrun the end, he only made it bleed faster. Asgard fell not to Loki's treachery, but to the weight of time owed. The archive's truth, the gods did not die, they were erased, one breath at a time. The runes burn not with light, but with hunger. Each glyph etched into the archive's bones is a shackle on time itself, yanking centuries from Midgard's breath, Niflheim's frost, Muspel's flame. Odin did not seek knowledge. He carved a ledger of stolen years, his shadow stretching across the 9 realms while Asgard's walls thinned like parchment. What price immortality when the cosmos pays in kind? The void, that ravenous ID, did not breach Asgard's gates, it was invited in, fed by the very hands that sought to delay its reckoning. Every whisper in the archive was a scream from a world drained dry. The Aesir aged not from battle but from debt. Their god's blood ran thin as the void's hunger swelled, Ragnarok's hammer forged in the furnace of Odin's greed. He believed he could outrun the end, he only made it bleed faster. Asgard fell not to Loki's treachery, but to the weight of time owed. The archive's truth is this, the gods did not die, they were erased, one breath at a time. The breaths Odin stole became the threads he couldn't weave. Tyr, the only honest god, saw the hollow cost thou, each sacrifice gnawed at the spine of time. Mimir's warnings, drowned in his own severed head, echoed of debts no meed could repay. The archive did not grant wisdom, it devoured it. Faye's ashes, scattered by Kratos' hand and Atreus' grief, were not just embers of a seer. They were the first fracture in Odin's theft. She saw the slow, unraveling Asgard's walls built on borrowed heartbeats, the void's hunger masked as knowledge. Her visions burned not of fire, but of time itself choking on its stolen thread. The Allfather's research was no quest for truth, it was a siphon. Each glyph carved in the realm between realms bled centuries from Midgard's soil, from Ulfheim's groves, from the marrow of hell. The gods did not age, the worlds did. Tyr's defiance was not bravery. It was the only honest act in a hall of lies. He refused to kneel to a throne built on temporal theft, even as his brother's blade carved the price into the cosmos. Mimir, forever whispering in brine, knew the archive's secret: to hoard time is to become its prisoner. Odin paid in blood, but the interest was always higher. The 9 realms did not perish in Ragnarok's blaze. They withered one breath at a time. But the runes on Odin's mask are not just a ledger, they are a curse. Each glyph a stolen breath from the 9 realms. His hunger for the void is a silent Ragnarok that never ends, bleeding time itself to sustain his hollow eyes. The price of his godsight is paid in the slow death of worlds. The 9 realms did not wither from war or frost, they bled. Odin's hunger for the void's secrets carved centuries from their bones, each rune etched in the realm between realms, a dagger twisted deeper into time's fabric. What god, what father, would trade his children's futures for a glimpse beyond death? The well of Mimir's waters turned to ash in his throat. Asgard's spires, once crowned with light, now stand hollow monuments to a thief who outlived his own creation. Kratos raised a son to break chains. Odin raised a son to inherit them. Atreus does not yet know the weight of this truth. The Allfather's wisdom was a lie papered over rot. Every stolen moment fed the void's hunger. Every godly insight paid in the slow suffocation of Midgard's dawn. The Norns wove their loom in vain. Odin's hands, gnarled with paradox, unraveled their threads. What legacy endures when a god becomes both predator and prey? The void does not consume, it borrows asterisk. And when the debt is due, even the dead will whisper for more. Kratos teaches his son to sever fate's thread. Odin's fate was to become the thread itself tugged, frayed, and finally snapped. The archive's doors remain sealed, but the cost is carved in the silence between stars. A father's sin, a son's shadow, the 9 realms do not forget, they cannot. Not while the void still breathes through the cracks in time. The archive's bones lie shattered in the realm between realms. Runes once blazing now whisper in fractured light. Odin's mask cracked, cradles silence in Valhalla's shadow. His hunger for the void was no mere quest. It was a siphon, centuries bled from Asgard's heart to feed his endless war against time. The price. A god's crown, a realm's pyre. When Kratos struck the killing blow, the stolen years collapsed like ash. Ragnarok's flames did not spare the thief, yet the void remembers. It seeps through Valhalla's stones. It hums in the cracks of every realm. A god's hubris outlives his name. The 9 realms bear the scar, they always have, they always will. The archive is no temple, it is a wound. A monument to Odin's hunger, his shadowed hands prying open the void's maw, siphoning centuries like blood from a dying star. He called it research, the 9 realms called it theft. Asgard's golden age did not fade. It was ripped away, stolen to fatten his endless years. His paranoia carved a chasm wider than Yggdrasil's roots. What god trades his children's futures for a longer reign? The answer festers in the dust of shattered scrolls, a king who feared death more than oblivion. Generations paid the price. Thor's hammer grew heavy with borrowed time. Loki's lies curdled into desperation. The realms themselves began to fracture seams of missing moments, as if the cosmos itself whispered, "Asterisk, you owe me asterisk." Odin's legacy is not wisdom, it is a debt collector's ledger. Every myth he etched into the world tree's bark came at the cost of another's breath. The void did not corrupt him, he starved it. And now, when the reckoning comes, there will be no time left to scream. What secrets do the runes on Odin's mask conceal? The blood of the Surhow sealed the god's fate. His hunger for the void was not sacrifice, it was theft. Centuries siphoned from Asgard's veins to fuel his endless war. The archive's whispers warn, time is a debt. And